Okay, Lamai, good evening to all of you. So, this is our first paper class for 2027 A-level batch. Okay, so still we haven't done that much, but it's good to start a class to discuss more questions, to clarify or the confirm the topics we learned. Okay, so here we are starting questions from atomic structure lesson, and a very small part we did, and of course with chemical calculation lesson. Okay, so the paper was given to you during the classes. I hope you have the answers with you, and I added the Google form link to get your answers, and by now most of you have submitted the answers. Right, so we have 8 questions to discuss today, 4 from atomic structure and 4 from chemical calculations, right? And I'll go to the first MCQ. And Lamai, very importantly, the discussion we are doing here, you have to add that one to your discussion book. Okay, so I ask in the first classes to keep a separate book to write your reviews, paper reviews. Okay, and this is your paper 1. Then in next weeks you will be getting paper 2, 3, like that. So you have to add your add your reviews, right, into that book. And please, I will be giving you a printout of all the papers, and please attach the paper along with the discussion. Okay, then only it will be valuable. So you have the question, and then you have the answer and the discussion for that one. Okay, it will be really useful. So I said that the classes for 2026 A-level batch, we started 10 months ago, just 10 months ago. So by now we have completed 33 practice papers just like this. Okay, in future practice papers you will be having more questions than this. So by now just multiply and see. Average there will be like 15 MCQs. So sometimes there will be essays and structured also. So by now they have a very large and very useful question collection. Okay, and students are getting a huge value from that one towards their term test and my exams also. And I want to give you the same thing in a better, much more better way. Okay, so that's why I'm asking from day one, just keep the your reviews with you. Okay, and now write a review briefly. Once I'm uploaded the recording, you can go through that again and clarify more things and write a proper review. Okay, right, so it starts from the first MCQ, and like I said earlier, first 4 MCQs are from atomic structure. Okay, so these are really simple questions, so we'll just go through them in order to see what's coming in the exam. And of course, I forgot to mention, these 8 questions I'm discussing today are coming from past papers. Okay, they all are past paper questions. We just need to be in the limit of the A level. Okay, we need to know what exactly they are asking for the A level, and we have to get ready for that one. Okay, not too easy questions and not too hard questions, right? Okay, look at the first one. Of the following scientists, identify who was not connected with the development of atomic theory. Okay, so in the classes you learned about atomic models, right? So there were like 5 atomic models, and you know who exactly connected with these atomic models, right? So now there are 2 names in the 5 answers which are not familiar to you by now. So when we take the first MCQ, from the 24 students answered, 18 got the correct answer, right? So that is what? Yes, very good answer for the scientist not connected to the development of atomic theory is Linus Pauling. Okay, so what exactly Pauling is connected to? Can I see the answer? What exactly Pauling is connected to? You may know that one. What exactly Pauling is connected to? Pauling scale, electronegativity. Okay, very good. It is electronegativity. Okay, so in your printed paper, you can write in front of Linus Pauling electronegativity. Okay, very good, electronegativity. So Pauling scale, we'll be discussing about Pauling scale in our atomic structure lesson in under the periodic properties. Okay, we will be discussing about Pauling scale. Okay, there will be writing more, but for now just know Pauling is connected with electronegativity, only. So he is not connected with atomic models. Okay, and I can see some of you have selected answer 3 as well. So yeah, 5 kids have selected Chadwick. So this name might not be familiar to you, but still I put the MCQ because Lama, in MCQs we have to select the best answer, right? So most of you know Linus Pauling, basically all of you know Linus Pauling is connected with electronegativity. So then you have to select that answer, even though Chadwick is there. So who knows what Chadwick is connected to? Can I see the answers? Some of you might know Chadwick. If you refer the note, it was there. Yes, very good. Discovery of neutrons. Okay, discovery of neutrons. Right, now here's what we are going to do. Here's what we are going to do. Okay, so let's take our MCQ one. Right, so we have 5 scientists now. So in the first answer, you have Niels Bohr. In the second one, you have Thomson. And in the third one, you have Chadwick. Fourth one, Pauling. And in the fifth one, you have Rutherford. So in front of each scientist, let's write what they discovered and what they are related to. Okay, right. So Bohr is related to Bohr model, Bohr atomic model. So it's one of the 5 models we learned in the class, right? And what exactly Bohr said, okay, he said that electrons are moving in what? Electrons are moving in energy levels. Electrons are moving in energy levels. Understood? Then Thomson, he is also related to an atomic model, which is plum pudding model. Okay, plum pudding model. So in plum pudding model, Thomson discovered the electron. Okay, Thomson discovered the electron, as well as Thomson is the one who found E over M ratio for electrons. Okay, E over M ratio for electrons. Like that, let's write what they did. Okay, so as a summary, just once you see this E, you know he discovered the electron, right? So like that, just understand what they are connected to. In addition to that, you can draw their atomic model also. Here, Bohr model, electrons are moving in energy levels, right? And in Thomson, a positively charged sphere is there, and negative electrons are embedded in that. Okay, plum pudding model. So like that, just write few things in order to remember these things. I hope you get what I'm telling, right? Okay. And then Chadwick, of course, a few of you told, very good. And he is related to the discovery of neutron. Okay, Chadwick. And importantly, yeah, Chadwick did this experiment using, this will be taught later, Lamai, but just write it here. Okay, discovered neutron by radiating alpha particles, to a beryllium sheet. Okay, we'll be discussing more later, but just know his experiment. Okay, radiating alpha particles to a beryllium sheet. And Pauling, like you said, is related to electronegativity. Electronegativity scale was developed by him. Electronegativity scale. And Rutherford, of course, there's another model associated with Rutherford, which we called as planetary model in the discussion. Planetary model, or sometimes this is called as nuclear model also. Okay, so then you can draw a diagram for nuclear model as well. He said that he discovered the nucleus actually, and he said that electrons are moving randomly around this nucleus. And another important thing, he discovered that most of the space of the atom is empty. Remember, nucleus, and most of the space of atom is empty. So actually this Rutherford discovered these things with his colleagues doing this experiment. Hope you remember this one from our first day. Uh, he and his colleagues did gold foil experiment. Gold foil experiment. Okay, Lamai? Gold foil experiment. So like that you can write these things just to, just to recall and just to jog your memory and help you understand. So once you have this discussion along with your question, once you look at this one, a lot of things will remember to you, no? Isn't it? Right. So let's put this one in the book. So answer again, answer is Pauling. So you can see Pauling is the one who's not connected to atomic theory, isn't it? Even neutron is a subatomic particle. No? Discovery of neutron is also a part of the story of atomic model, isn't it, Raman? Right. So that's the answer for the first MCQ. Right. So I'm conducting this one basically in English, but if you are having any doubt, you can ask. Of course, I can explain in both languages, no problem. That's what I'm doing basically in the class. But since there are students from all three classes of mine, so I'm doing this basically in English. I hope you all are fine with that one. But of course, if you're having doubts or some problems, please ask, okay? Don't hesitate to at least put a message to the chat. Right. So that's about first MCQ. Let's go to the second one. Let's see how many of you selected the correct answer for the second MCQ. So out of the 24 answers I'm having right now, 18 of you have selected the answer 2, correct one, correct answer, answer 2 for the second MCQ. That seems you all are okay with the question. So I'll do a brief explanation for that as well. Okay. So which one of the following columns 1 to 5 correctly match the name of each scientist with the column with the activities? So actually those are the things they invented or discovered, right? Okay, so what's the first one? Okay, so the activity first one, propose the nuclear model of atom. So like I said, you can see in the board, it's right there in the board. So I told you, Lamai, the beginning we used the term planetary model. Okay, but it is called as the nuclear model as well because it is the first model which introduced the nucleus. You remember? It is the first model that introduced the nucleus right here. Okay, so therefore this is called as nuclear model also. So nucleus concept, okay, that the small dense part right in the middle of the atom, right? That concept was developed by Rutherford. Okay, that concept was developed by Rutherford. So there are two answers that starts with Rutherford. Understand? There are two answers that starts with Rutherford, answer 2 and answer 3. You can see it right there. Answer 2 and answer 3 starts with Rutherford. So then answer should be one of those two. Okay, answer should be one of those two. Then you go to the second one. There is something new to you, which we haven't discussed yet. What is that? Interpreted the atomic spectrum of hydrogen. Hydrogen spectrum we haven't discussed yet, but that name might be familiar to you. Hydrogen spectrum was there between which atomic models? Can someone answer and tell me? Yeah, I know you all remember, but one of you can you tell me? Hydrogen spectrum was there between two atomic models. Yes. Between come again. Yeah, planetary model and Bohr model. Okay, very good. Planetary model and Bohr model. Okay, so hydrogen spectrum was there between planetary model and Bohr model. Understood that? So therefore, it should be something which we have to discuss later. Okay, so therefore, we have to just keep aside that one because we haven't done it yet. But still, you should be able to continue with the question. Why? Because you can see in the answer 2 and 3, the last two options are also different, Thomson and Millikan. So if you can figure out the last activity, still you can go for the correct answer. That's how MCQs are going. Understand, Lama? You don't have to know everything. Okay, so but we are teaching you everything. But once it is coming to the exam, you have to know exactly how to go to the answer. Okay, so don't be panicked or don't be scared by looking at some uncomfortable things, but still you can get the correct answer. Okay, so that art of getting answers, and that's all coming with the practice of questions. That's why we are starting it right away. We start the class. Okay, right. The last one, determine the charge to mass ratio of electron. So this charge to mass ratio was found by Thomson. Understood? Thomson. Right? So then our answer is answer 2. So I know those who selected the answer 2 might have followed the same method I'm saying. Okay? So they first selected Rutherford by looking at the first activity, and they selected the Thomson by looking at the last activity. Okay? They didn't worry about the middle or the second activity they gave. Understood? Now it is confirmed. You can see. So hydrogen emission spectrum interpretation was done by Bohr. Okay, so when I asked the question, you said emission spectrum comes between Bohr model and planetary model and Bohr model. So by the use of emission spectrum, okay, new model was born. The Bohr model was there. Okay, so like that, it's very good. But you can now remember, interpretation of atomic hydrogen spectrum was done by Bohr as a new theory, new point. Understood that one, Lama? Okay, so when we are doing the paper, not only we are recalling the previous things, but we can have a little idea regarding the what will be coming next. Okay, in future classes we will be looking at interpretation of hydrogen spectrum by Bohr using Bohr model. Understood? So as a new point, you can write down that. So one kid asked about the how to write the review and all. දැන් පුතේ අහලා තිබුණා review එක ලියන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. හරි? So මෙහෙම කරන්න පුතේ. හොඳේ. ඔයගලන්ගේ දැන් මේ paper එක තියෙනවනේ. Right? And දැන් ඔයාලට මේ paper එක separate කරලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරි? එතකොට මේක paste කරන්න ඔයගලන්ගේ paper writing book එකේ. paper writings වලට paper review වලට වෙනම book එකක් තියාගන්න. හරි? ඒකේ first page එකේ ඔන්න ඔයම numbers ටික දාලා මම board එකේ දාන review එකයි අපි discuss කරද්දි කියන additional points උයි ඔක්කොම ලියන්න. ලියලා මේ paper එකකට paste කරන්න. ක්ලියර් නේද? එහෙම කරන්න. එතකොට ඔයාලට හොඳ review එකක් හැදෙනවා. මේක අපි theory ලියන book එකේ ලියන්න එපා. හොඳේ? theory ලියන book එකේ ලියන්න එපා. කැමති නම් ඔයාලට මේ paper එකේම පොඩියට ලියන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරි? හැබැයි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඒකේ දින මදි වෙනවනේ. එහෙනම් වෙනම book එකක් මේකට maintain කරන්න. Okay? So මේ tute එක printed tute එක online ළමයින්ට මට එවන්න වෙන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ class එක register වෙලා ඔයාලට tute එවන දවසට. එතකම් මම ඔයගලන්ට PDF එක දානවා. Okay, so for online students I have to send this one via post or the courier service once I'm sending the tubes. Until that I will put in the PDF to the group. But for the physical students I gave this paper for everyone. Okay, so I hope you have this one. And yeah, so for the future classes also the same thing. I'll be giving you the paper before class, then you have to paste that one where you write the review. Okay, I'll be checking this one in the class. හොඳේ මම class එකේදී බලනවා ඉන්න මේක ලියන් එන්න ළමයි. හරි හොඳට වැඩ කරන්න පටන් ගන්න from day 1. Okay, right. Yeah, memory boost එක තියෙනවා. memory boost එකේ answers මම දාන්නම් group එකට. Okay, so in the other side of the paper you have the memory booster, right? So I have to send the answers of that one to the group, right? So just give me a minute. මෙහෙම අලවන්නේ කොහොමද අහනවා. හරි මෙහෙම කරන්න පුතේ. මේ මෙතන පොඩි එකක් තියෙන සෙලෝ ටේප් කරලා අලවන්න. right? Don't worry about it that much. think. වඩ ක්‍රමයක් මතක් වෙයි. Okay. So if you have further questions you can send to the WhatsApp also. මට දැන් මේකේ ළමයි පොඩක් පාර බලන්න අමාරුයි. There's a small problem with the computer. Just look at this one for a second. මට මේ ඔයාලට දෙයක් කියන්න ඕන. Can you see that one in the screen? Okay, here's the story, Lamaya. Just listen to this one for a minute. Okay, so you can see two calendars are there. Do you see any difference of the two calendars? Huh? ඔයාලට මේකේ මොන වෙනසක් පේනවද calendars දෙකේ? නෑ නේද? Huh? So that is the in the left side you have the days that are given for a common man. يعني නිකන් හිතන්න සාමාන්‍ය මිනිස්සෙට හම්බ වෙන දවස් ටික. And in the right side you have the days given for a successful man. Okay, so when we brought this one to our context in A levels, let's say in the left hand side you have the days given for the person who fails the exam. Exam එක fail වෙන කෙනාගේ දවස් ටික. හරිද? අනිත් පැත්තේ තියෙන්නේ මොකක්ද? The days given for the exam, okay, to the person who get the island first. හරි නැත්නම් හිතන්න හොඳම ලකුණු ගන්න ඒ තුනක් ගන්න ළමයට හම්බ වෙන දවස් ටික. right side එකේ තියෙනවා දෙන්නටම හම්බ වෙන එකම time එකක් නම. ඒක මට අද කියන්න ඕනේ. හරිද? ඒතර ඔයාලට මේ හම්බ වෙන time එකේ හරි ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරන දේවල් තියෙන්නේ. ඒකෙන් තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හම්බ වෙන result එක decide වෙන්නේ. That's the truth. Understand? So it depends all about what you do within the time you are given. Because the one who fails the exam, the one who pass with the flying colors, okay, and one who get into the medical faculty, one who get into the engineering faculty, one who get 3 A's, one who become the island first, they all have the same time, okay, but the problem about how they focus by the given time, within the given time, understand? So it's not about the number of days. ඔයගොල්ලෝ කලබල වෙන්න හොඳ නෑ අපිට. ඔයගලන්ට තාම මේක දැනෙන්නේ නෑ. but හිතන්න මේ අවුරුද්ද exam ලියන ළමයෙක් කියලා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ සමහරට බය වෙනවනේ. මං කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලොත් කවදාද එහෙම බය වෙන්න එපා. because you all got the same time. now ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉන්නේ හරිම මුල පටන් ගත්ත තැන ඉන්නේ. so you all are getting, you are still at the beginning. So you all get the same time. So my advice is, Lama, so mark it today, you have to use the time given wise. Okay, you have to focus more, and especially the advice written in the bottom. What is that? What changes is not the number of days, continuity and focus for the productivity. That's what actually should be changed. Understood? So remember, continuity is very important. So we are doing papers week by week. So like I said, for the 2026 batch, we kept our word and we did 33 papers. Now I am doing this week the 34th paper, right? So you have to keep continually doing that. So as teachers, we take our task seriously and we do continually our task, okay, towards your good results. Okay, we are doing this freely, you know all. Right? මේක freely කරන්නේ. මේ අපිට වැඩ හැන්නේ නැති හින්දා එහෙම ඌත් ඉන්න නෙමෙයි. මේක ඔයාලගේ results හදන්න ඕන හින්දා. Right? අනික okay ළමයි. So you from your side and your parents, of course, we need the support to continue this one. Okay, you have to write the reviews properly and document them properly, keep the papers properly. ඒ reviews අපිට පෙන්වන්න, check කරගන්න, හරියට මේක maintain කරමු. හරිද ළමයි? අනිවාර්යෙන් ඒකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. තේරුණා නේද? අනිවාර්යෙන් එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So you will get a definite A, no issue. හරි? එහෙනම් හොඳට ඒක කරමු. මට මේ advice එක දෙන්න ඕනේ because we are still at the beginning. It will be useful for you all. Right? So for the second MCQ, you got the answer correct. Answer 2. So I think you got my logic. You might know the second activity, might not know the second activity, but still you can go to the answer. Right? What about the third MCQ? Let's see how many of you got the third MCQ right. Third MCQ right. Yeah. So out of 24 answers I am having, only 13 of you got the answer correct. That might have to do with the ABCD problem also. So let me explain you that first. Okay, how to select answers for the ABCD type questions. Give me a minute, Lama. So in your writing book, answer writing book, please note this down. Okay. Right. So in our A-level paper, A-level MCQ paper, this is very important. I'm not going to repeat this in another class, so you have to note this down. Okay. So in our A-level MCQ paper, chemistry paper, you are having three types of MCQs. So 1 to 30 you have a single type, and 31 to 40, then 41 to 50. Okay, so here you have 10 MCQs. Understand? So these are like ordinary multiple choice MCQ. Okay, so you are given 5 answers, you have to select the best option. Okay, select the best option. Select the best. Why do they say best? Okay, you will understand that reason later. Sometimes you might not see the correct answer. In hari uttarයක් කියලා එකක් science වල නැහැ සමහරවිට. You will have the best answer. You will see that one practically in future discussion. So select the best option. Select the best option out of 5 answers. Okay, so that is the first type of MCQ. So you will have 30 of them, just like you had for the O-level MCQs, right? So 31 to 40 is a little bit different. Those are sometimes called as ABCD MCQs, because you will be having 4 statements, A, B, C, D, like you are having for the third MCQ of ours, right? So here the answer selection is a little bit weird. Okay, sometimes maybe two statements are correct, maybe 3 statements are correct, like that. So but here you will have only one correct, the best, only one answer. But here you may have several correct options. So here's how you are selecting answers for that one. Because in your paper you are given, let's say third MCQ, you are given 5 circles which are labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you are marking the answers in the exam, you have to cross one of the circles. That's how you show your answer. Understand? Okay. So for them as well, you have to select one of the 5 answers. This is how you select the answer. You select answer 1 if A and B are correct. Okay, you are selecting answer 1 if A statement and B statement correct. Understood? So you are selecting answer 2 if B and C are correct. You are selecting answer 3 if C and D statements are correct. Then you are selecting answer 4 if A and D, that means the first one and the last one, are correct. Okay, and you are selecting the answer 5 if other options are coming. What are other options? Other options means only one statement becoming correct. Okay, then A and C becoming correct, like that option is not there. Okay, and let's say the 3 statements are correct, A, B, C are correct, A, B, D are correct, B, C, D are correct, like that. Then sometimes all statements may be correct, sometimes none of them may be correct. So like that, all other options will fall into this category. Understood? Only if A and B are correct, you select answer 1, like that. Is that clear to you all? So you have to write down this, right? And then the next set of MCQs, you have first statements and second statement. There are 2 statements given. Okay, there are 2 statements given. There are 10 statement MCQs. So if the first statement correct and the second statement is also correct, and if the second statement, listen to this very carefully, second can explain the first. If second statement can explain the first statement, you selecting answer 1. Okay, so we will see in next week how these answers are given. I'll be adding set of questions. And for the second answer, you are selecting second answer, both are correct, but second one cannot explain the first one. Okay, so that's how you select the second answer. That means second answer means in the answer script you are cutting the second circle, like that. Okay, so you are selecting the third answer if first one correct, second one wrong. Others are easy, lamai. You are selecting the fourth answer if first one false, second one correct, and you are selecting the answer 5 if both the statements are incorrect. Okay, so unfortunately you don't have this type MCQ today for the discussion, but surely I will be adding that one for our next discussion. We will see that one there. So let's stick to this. Let's write down this one clearly in our possible MCQ types. So right now your third MCQ is coming from this type. Okay, so let's see what is the answer for the third MCQ. Okay, so I'll give you a minute to note down this one. Quickly put it there. So here in our third MCQ, before I erase this one, I'm telling, in our third MCQ, you will see first statement and the last statement are correct. I'll explain later. And these statements are incorrect, BC. So it is asking what are the true statements. So true statements are A and D, no? A and D, no? Understand, A and D. So AD correct, the option you should select is fourth option. Understand? So your answer for the third MCQ is answer 4. So I'll explain now how these things are correct and incorrect, but finally your answer should be answer 4. So like I said, only few students selected the answer right. 13 students, actually it's a higher number, majority has selected, but still some are going with other options. So I'll explain how this is coming. Okay, so I hope everybody note down this one. You can take a screenshot and save it, write later if you need more time. Okay, done. Now let's go to the paper. Look at the question, Lama. Which of the following statements are true? It's 2005 A-level MCQ. Electron have particle as well as wave property. Electron has particle as well as wave property. So that statement is true. You will learn about that one exactly in a later discussion. But anyway, I put this MCQ just to give you a little idea. Okay. So we had 5 atomic models. Remember, we had 5 atomic models. Okay, I'll write a brief review about this one. Third MCQ, statement A, that is correct. So we had 5 atomic models. Remember, we had what is that? Golf ball model, then trampoline model, then planetary model, then bow model, then we had quantum atomic model. Remember, quantum atomic model. So when I'm discussing the quantum atomic model, between these two models there was 2 experiments: Heisenberg uncertainty principle, and the other one was wave particle dual behavior. Okay, so according to wave particle dual behavior, okay, it says particles are behaving like waves and waves are behaving like particles. Understand? So like our electron is also showing this wave particle dual behavior. Understood? So our explanation, just note it down, Lama. Later it will be explained. Okay. So according to, write this statement, that's enough. According to de Broglie is the scientist who said this one. According to de Broglie, small particles like electrons, show significant wave character. Okay, so significant wave character. So particles like electron can behave like waves. Okay, so that means waves can behave like particles and particles can behave like waves. So this is called as wave particle dual behavior. So you know light rays, Lamai? Light rays also behaving like, light rays is a wave, no? But light rays can behave like particles also. Okay, which will be explained later, but just now there is something like this. I hope you all are okay with that. Understood? Just note it down, later it will be explained. Right, so statement A is correct. But I selected this MCQ mainly because of the last 3 statements. Therefore, let's focus more on that. So what about the second statement? It is telling a proton is heavier than neutron. That is a very popular MCQ point in term test actually. You know what? It seems like the relative masses of proton is equal to 1 and neutron is equal to 1. So then students are thinking, okay, proton and neutron masses are same. Okay, they do something like that. Right? Their relative masses are same, but if you go to the exact mass, okay, exact mass, you know, neutron slightly heavier than proton. So that, remember that as a MCQ point and highlight that also. Okay, neutron is slightly, not that much only, relatively their masses are same. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගත්තම එක වගේ masses තියෙන්නේ. But neutron වල mass එක පොඩ්ඩක් විතර වැඩි. චුට්ටක් හරි පොඩ්ඩක්, right? Neutron is having a slightly, that's very important, huh? Slightly higher mass than proton. So remember that one as a MCQ point. Slightly higher mass than proton. I hope you get it correct, because it's very important. So don't take their masses are equal. ගොඩක් අය මේක වැරදි කියලා ගන්න නැති by thinking their masses are equal. Most of you might have taken this statement is wrong by considering their masses are equal, but actually ළමයි their masses are not equal. හරිද? Neutron mass is slightly high. Hope you get that point. It's worth highlighting and remembering. Understood? And C. About C we discussed in the class. Tell me why C is wrong. Why C is wrong? Why C is wrong? Anna, right, very good. Yoshida, yeah. Mishra, okay, yeah, very good. All atoms have electrons, protons and neutrons. That statement is wrong. I can see your answers flashing in the screen. I might miss some answers, but excuse me, there's a small problem with the computer. I can't properly check the chat. That's why I asked to if you have any major concerns about the problems, you can send it a WhatsApp message, okay? But these answers I can just see flashing on the screen. So however, very good. So you guys remember what I taught in the class. I'm really proud, but I need that happiness continuously, okay? Right. So this statement is wrong. Why? No, the statement tells all atoms have electrons, protons and neutrons, but that is wrong. Why? Like you said, protium isotope of hydrogen. Okay, protium isotope of hydrogen does not have what? Neutrons. It doesn't have neutrons because protium, how do we write it? Protium, we write H11. That means we have one proton, no neutrons and one electron. But all other atoms, all other elements, they have neutrons. But only protium doesn't have neutrons. So that's why we take that answer wrong. So again, another very important MCQ point. You can understand why I selected this question, right? Not because of the first statement. This will be anyway explained later. You might not know about that. But still, the B and C are very important. That's why I selected the MCQ. Okay? So now you can see D is also true. Why? This statement tells all ions have at least one proton. That is true. Because the simplest ion means lamai, ions are made by, write this sentence, ions are made by losing or gaining electrons. Understood? By losing electrons, you will be forming cations or positive ions. And by gaining electrons, you will be forming anions or negative ions. So basically, any atom has protons. Therefore, ions are made by atoms. No, understand? Ions are made by losing or gaining electrons from atoms. So basically, any atom has protons, no? Therefore, this statement is correct. Any atom has protons, okay? So, number of protons are not changed during formation of ions. You might not see what I'm writing here. Number of protons are not changed during, right here, during formation of ions. Okay, ions හදද්දි මේ statement එක හරි වැදගත් ළමයි. හරිද? ions හදන්නේ atoms වලින්. හරිද? atoms electron අයින් කරොත් ඒගොල්ලෝ cation හදනවා, electron ගත්තොත් anions ලා හදනවා. හරිද? ඒතර ඔය හැදෙන ඔය දෙකේදීම proton වලට මොකද වෙන්නේ නැහනේ. හරිද? ඒ හින්දා proton ගාන atom එකේ හදෙන proton ගාන මොකුත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ions හදද්දි. ඒ හින්දා atom වලට proton compulsorily තියෙනවා නම් ions වලටත් අනිවාර්යෙන්ම තියෙනවා. That's my explanation. Okay, if atoms are having definitely protons, then ions must have protons also. See, it's a nice question. So you got answer A and B correct. That means according to the discussion I did earlier, answers must be 4. Okay, so are there any doubts? You can send a text to my WhatsApp. I'll be checking that one now. Are there any problems? No? Okay. Right. Now if you go to the next question. Question number 4. Out of the 24 answers, 17 of you have got it correctly. That's very good. Okay. For the 4th MCQ, answer is answer 2. But few of you have selected, actually 7 of you have selected answer 3 as well. Okay, I'll be explaining that one now. So those 7 students, and I know of course it will be important for others as well, but mainly those 7 students have to write a very good review. Okay, right. So දැන් අපි වැරදි හදාගන්නනේ මේක කරන්නේ. දැන් මේක full serious අරන් කරමු හොඳේ. Because your future is not a joke to me. හරිද? dance එකත් එහෙම අපි දෙන්න මේක ළමයි බැහැලම කරන්නේ. So we need the 100% from you guys also. Okay, let's write a review for the 4th one. I'll be raising this. What is the question, first of all? Wait. Let me share that with you. 4th one. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding isotopes? Okay. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding isotopes? So the first statement, there are 5 statements. You have to select only one answer. So isotopes, they only have different number of neutrons. That's how they differ, no? So then having same number of protons, having same number of electrons, and having different number of neutrons, those statements are correct. So obviously don't select 1, 4, 5. Okay? 1, 4, 5 නම් තෝරන්න එපා. Okay, මොකද ඒවා 100% true. ඔයාට ඒක තෝරන්න හිතෙනවා නම් then write a good review about that one first of all. Understood? So because it is coming from the definition of isotopes. Nothing else. හරිද? isotope definition එක හොඳට බලන්න. Then look at the second one and third one. Same density and similar chemical properties, that thing. So answer is coming from there. So I'll be explaining that one in the board now quickly. Look at this. Okay, ළමයි? මේමයි. Right. Yeah. Isotopes. Isotopes are having same atomic number and different mass number. So what is the reason for the different mass number? Because of different number of neutrons. Okay, so their number of neutrons are different. Example, hydrogen 1,1 protium, hydrogen 1,2 deuterium, hydrogen 1,3 tritium. We use the same example in the class. Okay, and we can put some example. 111 number of protons, and number of neutrons 0 1 2, and number of electrons are same like the number of protons because they are neutral atoms. Then hydrogen is having one proton, therefore plus one charge. To counteract or to neutralize that charge, you have to have one electron. Understand? That's why number of electrons are similar to number of protons. Very simple logic only. Good rocket science. Just understand the logic. It's very easy. Then you go to this chemical property and physical property thing. So here's the golden statement. You have to highlight this and write. Okay. So isotopes are having similar chemical properties. Their chemical properties are similar or same, you can say in other words. Okay, similar or same chemical properties. Okay. Then isotopes are having different physical properties. Their physical properties are different, but their chemical properties are exactly same. Why? You need the reason why. Now you can highlight this now, but let's write why is that also. Okay, you must highlight them. So physical properties are different, chemical properties are same, because chemical properties, now listen to this explanation really well. So what's happening during the chemical reactions? Okay, during chemical reactions, existing bonds are broken and new bonds are formed. Okay, again, what is happening during chemical reactions? Existing bonds are broken and new bonds are formed. Hari, තියෙන bonds කැඩෙනවා, අලුත් bonds හැදෙනවා. Hari, so what is happening during bond breaking and bond formation? What is actually happening? What are bonds? What are the bonds කියන්නේ? Bonds are, according to O-level knowledge, අපි O-level තැන ඉඳන් කතා කරමු. Bonds are ionic bonds and covalent bonds. Bonds වර්ග දෙකයි තියෙන, ionic, covalent. Okay, so what is happening in ionic bonds? You exchange electrons. Why electron exchange කරගන්නවා? අන්න electrons. අමතක කරන්න එපා ඒ වචනේ. During covalent bonds, what is happening? You share electrons. So it's also because of the electrons, right? So during chemical bonds, always electrons are either exchanged or shared, though something happens with electrons. Always something happens with electrons. So chemical properties are similar. Why? Because they all have same number of electrons. You get the idea? They all have same number of electrons. That's why chemical properties are same. Okay, so I'll write a small description, but I hope you get the real quick idea. Okay, so during chemical reactions, electrons are involved. We can write what? Ionic bonds and covalent bonds. So we have a separate lesson. Okay, අපිට වෙනම පාඩමක්ම තියෙනවා මේක කතා කරන්න. Don't worry, right? හොඳට කියලා දෙන්නම්. මේ කාලේට හොඳට ඉගෙන ගන්න. Right? Okay, so during chemical reactions, electrons are involved, ionic and covalent. Okay, ionic and covalent bonds are formed, and therefore, isotopes have the same electronic configuration. Therefore, reactivity is same. Understood that one? So that's why isotopes are having similar chemical properties, because they are having the same electronic configuration. I add the term configuration because multi-electron atoms like lithium, sodium, chlorine, they have many electrons. No? So the way they arranged also same configuration. Then why Isotopes are having different physical properties. Physically. So one physical property I can give you an example, density. This is the clearest example I can give you, density right now. Later we will discuss more. So what is density? What is density? According to your grade 9 definition, density is what? Total mass over total volume, isn't it? So then you have something interesting. What is that? Mass. So when mass is changing, what will happen? Density is also changing. Isn't it, Lamai? Density is also changing. You can see their mass numbers are different. Mass is increasing. So once mass is increasing, density is also increasing. So physical properties like density, they change because of the change of mass number. Okay, because of the change of mass number. So you can write this. Physical properties. Physical properties. These are affected by mass of atom. So isotopes have different what? Different mass numbers. Different mass numbers. That's the reason. Get my point, Lamai? Okay, so write a clear idea. Okay, write this properly. You don't need anything else. Okay, so get the maximum benefit from our effort. And this class is exclusive to the people who participate our theory classes. Understand? First few paper classes we might put to the YouTube, but we are not continuously putting that one. You can check 2026 A-level classes. Only some classes we put in. Like for your batch also, the first few classes we will be putting, but after that we are not going to continue the whole thing in the YouTube. So this is exclusive for you all. So get the maximum benefit. Okay. You will understand the value of that one after writing 2-3 tests. Right? Okay. So that's it for the 4 MCQs coming from atomic structure. Hope you all are good with that one. Now it is time to discuss the chemical calculation MCQs. So do we have any further doubts, Lamai? For the chemical calculations also you have good responses. The last MCQ is the really important thing. ඒක තමයි කට්ටිය poor performance තියෙන්නේ. For the last MCQ, out of the 27 students have answered. Some of you have දැනුත් දාලා තියෙනවා. Okay, out of the 27 answers, only 7 got the correct answer for the last MCQ. Okay, so wait till the class ends. You all can see why that is so important. Okay, why that is so important. Let's see at the end of the class. Right? You might see this one within a responses sticker. Can you see? Only this is the response for the last MCQ. Only you can see the green color bar. Only few students have got the correct answer. So let's discuss at that at the end. So wait until there. I'll be quickly going toward that one also. Right? So last MCQ, probably you might want to remember it also. Okay? I personally like that MCQ. That's why I put it into the first class. Right. So shall we go to the next one? So I'll add another Google form to each class group after finishing the class. So please add your comments. You can improve anything. If you want to change anything the way I present, am I going too fast, or you need more explanations. If there is anything good you will see, please put that also, which will encourage us what we are doing. Okay, right. So let's see the 5th MCQ, chemical calculations. Total number of atoms in 78 grams of benzene. 78 grams of benzene. So in actual A-level question, they only said benzene. So I added the molecular formula since you are not knowing about benzene yet. Benzene is an organic molecule. You will learn later. Okay, right. Okay, so it's asking how many atoms? How many atoms? Okay, so here's benzene C6H6. Okay, later draw the structure of this one to your review. Okay, it's not needed now, but if you're interested, you can put the structure later. You might wonder how these C6 and H6 are connected. No, just find the structure from internet and put it there. Okay, anyway, you will be taught these things. I'm just encouraging the students who are seeking knowledge, right? Okay, so what should we do first of all? So let me remind few things. This is like we did this one in the class. There are several ways to find moles. Okay, there are several ways to find moles, right? So there are actually 5 methods to find moles in A-level chemistry. So in these small discussions we did, I taught you 3 of them. I will not taught you, you already know them. I just remind you. And other 2 things which are coming specially for the A-levels, which will be done in our next classes. Okay. So what are these ways of finding moles? First one, dividing mass by molar mass, which we have to use here, this formula. Okay. So the other method, we can find moles by dividing number of particles by Avogadro constant. Okay. So that also will be used here. Okay. And the other one is N equals CV, concentration times volume. Okay. So these are the methods you already know from O levels. Right. So to find out the number of moles of benzene, we need the molar mass of benzene. We need the molar mass of benzene. So the important thing is molar mass of benzene is equal to relative molecular mass of benzene. Relative molecular mass of benzene. So I didn't discuss about relative molecular mass, relative atomic mass unit. So I didn't discuss those stuff, okay, which will be discussed in future classes. So I am going with the basic theories you already know. Stories there are stories within the theories. I'll be teaching them later. Okay, but for now it's very simple now. Let's see. Molar mass of benzene is equal to relative atomic mass of benzene in grams. Okay, so what is the relative atomic mass of benzene? You have 6 carbon and 6 hydrogen. So this is how you find it. Carbon relative atomic mass is 12. It is given. So you have 6 carbon atoms. So 12 times 6 plus. Hydrogen's relative atomic mass is 1. You have 6 hydrogen atoms. Let's add these two. Here you have 72. Here you have 6. So 78. So if you put it in grams, it will be like 78 grams per mole. Understood that one, Lama? Then we can find out moles of benzene. You can write a subscript in C6N6. Okay, so then it means moles of benzene. You don't want to write any words there. And 78 grams division 78 grams per mole, we will have exactly 1 mole of benzene. Okay, 1 mole of benzene. And 1 mole of benzene is what? Exactly how many benzene molecules? Avogadro number of molecules. Avogadro number of molecules. That's very important. Okay, molecules. That means how many exactly? Avogadro number is what? 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules. Why I'm highlighting this word? Molecules. Why? Because some of you have selected this as the answer. Okay, because this is not the answer. Why? It is the number of molecules. But they are asking what? How many atoms? You see the difference now. They are asking how many atoms. So what you should do? In one benzene molecule, how many atoms do you have? You have 6 carbon atoms and you have 6 hydrogen atoms. So you have basically 12 atoms in one molecule. Okay, we will write a sentence. In C6H6, there are 12 atoms in one molecule. In one molecule. Therefore, in one mole, there are how many atoms? 12 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Got the idea? So this is your answer. This is your answer. Okay. So don't select answer 2. Don't select answer 2. So like I said, in the question number, which one? Fifth one, no? Fifth one. Yeah, fifth one. Fifth one. Yeah, Lamai, fifth one, you have very poor answers. Most of you have selected answer 2. See? Yes, the answers might not see properly. Yeah. Can you see the green color bar and the grey color bar? Huh? You know, the grey color bar grey color bar has 18 kids. So that means you all have to write this one a good review. So I thought the last MCQ is good, but this is also even better. Right? So the reason is you might haven't read the question properly. It's asking atoms, not molecules. Okay. So anyone has any problem? Please send a message, Lamai. Any other issues? Is that clear? Okay, right. Good. See? So we have to learn something from our mistake. I hope our very first class, I didn't thought it will this much will be helpful to you, but seems like it is going to help you then I think. Okay. So write a good review. Okay, let's go to the next one. Sixth one. Let's check your answers. Sixth one. Out of the 20, now I have 29 answers. Okay, good. So out of the 29 answers, 13 of you have selected the correct option, and some of you have selected the second option as well. So that means you need more, guidance with chemical calculations. Okay, that's why I am starting this from the very beginning. Nobody else does this one. හරිද මේක කවුරුත් කරන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද මේකෙදි ළමයින්ට අර පොඩ්ඩක් අමාරු වෙනවා කියලා තේරෙනවානේ. ගානක් එහෙම හදන්න ගියාම වැරදුනහම ඔයගලන්ගේ මේ හිත රිදෙනවා. ඒතර ඒක ටියුෂන් එකට එච්චර හොඳ නැහැ. නේ? ඔයාලා කැමති නැහැනේ හිත රිද්ද ගන්න. ඔයාලා කැමති මොනවා හරි අහලා සතුටු වෙලා එන්න නේමනේ. නේ ළමයි. But A level classes is like something like entertaining students. Entertain කරලා වැඩක් නැහැ. It's not doesn't matter. No use of entertaining you kids. Only they have to teach you, right? That's why Gans and myself we are doing this thing. Right? So that's why I started chemical calculation from day 1. So then we know that everybody is not perfect. Right? We all have mistakes, but we have to have the chance to correct that mistakes only and the time. So we started from this day 1. I'm going to continue this chemical calculation for like 3 months. But within these 3 months, anybody can correct any mistake they have. Even with the small mathematical things also can be corrected. Right? So don't worry. Write a good review. Just understand these 8 questions for this week. That is enough. Maintain books. Okay, let's go to the question number 6. There you have the relative atomic mass of silver is 108. The mass of an atom of silver. Okay, mass of an atom of silver. It's asking for the mass of 1 atom of silver. So now from the question we did now here, you have a good understanding regarding the relative atomic mass. Okay, so if you put it in grams, you will have the mass of 1 mole. Isn't it? You will have the mass of 1 mole. So question number 6. Question number 6. So relative atomic mass of silver is 108. So that means therefore 1 mole of Ag mass is 108 grams. In other words, we can say 108 grams per mole. This is the molar mass of silver. Understood? So that means 1 mole of silver is 108 grams. 1 mole is what exactly? 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 silver atoms. Silver is an element, no? So it is composed of atoms only, no molecules. Right? The silver atoms මෙන්න මෙච්චර ගානක mass එක තමයි 108 grams කියන්නේ. So 108 grams is the mass of Avogadro number of atoms. හරිද? Atoms Avogadro ගානක mass එක. So they need the mass of what? One atom. So what we should do? So mass of 1 Ag atom, mass of 1 Ag atom, what we should do? We have to divide this mass of 1 mole from the number of atoms in 1 mole, which means the Avogadro number. We have to divide this one. Okay, we have to divide this one. Is that clear to you all, Lamai? This is our answer, but if you check your answers, we don't have that one. So I'll write the answers they have given for the 5 options. For the first one, they have given 1.79 into 10 to the power minus 22. This is the answer. I will be showing you how it is coming. 108 is given. So obviously this is not correct now. You can see. You have to divide this now. So it should be a smaller number. And 3.58 into 10 to the power minus 23. And again 1.79 into 10 to the power minus 23. And 9 into 10 to the power minus 24. So now you need the simplification. You get my point? You need the simplification. But listen to me carefully now. මම කියන්න යන එක ළමයි හරි important. Calculation වලදී මේක simplify කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ අර දෙන්න මම මේක exact answer එකකට යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. මම මේ කියන ටික හොඳට අහගෙන ඉන්න. මේක හරියට MCQ එකකට face කරන විදිහට මම මේ කියලා දෙන්න හදන්නේ. Okay, so listen to me very carefully. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to face the MCQ as MCQ. You have to select one of the 4 answers here. You know, obviously this is wrong, but unfortunately some of you have selected this also. I'm thinking now that is okay. Right? But still we have to select one of the 4 answers now. So for that, you don't need a calculator. For that, you don't need the last decimal answer. Right? So listen to me carefully. I'll show you how to answer this MCQ as MCQ. Right? Now, look at this one. We have to do a division. No? We have to do a division. Right? So I'm going to write like this one. 10.8 division 6.02. Let's say 6. Why 022? It's no use. No? Approximately. We are approximately taking 10 division 8. Or we can say like 11. Round off. 11 division 8, here it is into 10, and here 10 to the power 23. Now let's simplify these powers. Here is 10 to the power 1. So if you simplify these powers, you will see 11 over 6 into 10 to the power minus 22. 10 to the power minus 22. And if you check your answers, there is only one answer. Now anyway lamai මම එකයි කියන්නේ simplify කරන්න එපා. You don't need to simplify. The answer will be, answer of this part is between 1 and 2 no. Between 1 and 2 no. Understand? 1යි 2යි අතරේ answer එකක් නෙන්නේ. Get the idea? Because answer 2 වෙන්න නම් it should be like 12. 12 නෙමෙයි 11 නේ තියෙන්නේ. So answer should be something with between 1 and 2. And something 1 point something into 10 to the power minus 22. So you have only one answer like that, isn't it? You have only one answer like that. So in each answer it is either minus 24, minus 23, minus 23. Only this one is having minus 22. 1 point something and minus 22. See my logic? That is how you select the answer without simplifying. Okay, without simplifying. So use this knowledge that I am giving you. Try to understand. I'll doing it more and more and more. So you also try to get the answer without any calculator by these methods. Okay, I know some of you might have tried this one already. Some of you have might know this already. That's very good. So I'm telling this, emphasizing this one for those who are not doing this one still. Okay. So okay, for the before division, okay, I'll explain again. One of you have asked. I rounded it off now. Okay, so I wrote this one like 10.8 into 10. So it's, if you simplify it, it will be 108 now. So then I rounded this part into 11. Okay, see 11. And 6.022, I rounded it off to 6. Is that clear now? Okay. Sayuri, is that clear, Buddha? Then the simple division. Yeah. Okay. Write a detailed review on it. So that's the answer for the sixth one. Good. Sixth one, some of you had selected answer 2. That's why I am telling this much. Again, 108 in Alamaya. That one still, that one has to be clear. Okay, so for the basic chemical calculations, try these 4 questions and study these 4 questions. You will, all your doubts will be cleared. Okay. Right now, let's go to the question number 7. Out of the 29 answers that I'm having right now, 16, that means more than half of you have selected the correct option. That's really good. And some of you have selected the third option as well. That has to be something with the simplification error. Okay, answer is anyway answer 2. So when you are getting the answer, how many of you did this answer without using a calculator? Can I see a hand raise? But a hand raise කරන්න calculator එක නැතුව කී දෙනෙක් කරාද? දැන් මේක කැල් එකෙන් කළා වැඩක් නැහැ හොඳේ. Can you use the long division? Yeah, I can see many of you have done without a calculator. That's very good. Who used logarithm for this one? Log. None of you. So how did you do? You use the long division. Long division damage or rounding it off. Rounding it off might not work for this question. If you see the answers, let me show you the answers. You will see that it is not going to work for this question. See, it's very close answers are there. 13, 1. Yeah, no, but still you can get the answer. Yeah. It's in between. To select answer whether it is 3 or 2. Yeah. Anyway, good. By rounding it off also will help, right? Okay, we will discuss and see. If you want the exact answer, you can use logarithm also. Okay, look at the question. It is asking the mineral formula. So some crazy formula lamai. Okay, it's actually checking your mathematical knowledge. Ne? It's not chemistry. See how deep it is. And you have 5 water also. Sorry, 6 water. So it's a crystalline water. That's why you put dot and link that one. So within this crystal, you have 6 water molecules. That's why they mean crystalline water. We'll discuss more about this later, okay, in the theory class. So, however, when you are getting the relative molecular mass, relative formula mass actually, relative formula mass, you need to consider the whole thing. Understand? So, you have a sodium, that means 23. From sodium, you have 23. From 2 calcium, you have 40 into 2, 80. Okay. And then you have 5 aluminium. That means 27 into 5, 135. Then 27 into 10 means 270. No? Half of that. 135. Then you have 5 silicon. That means this 5 is relevant for both of these. Okay, so 5 silicon. That means my silicon relative atomic mass is given like 28. So 280 half is 140. And then how many oxygen? Just not, it's not just 4, okay? So 4 into 5, 20. 20 oxygen atoms are there. So 1 oxygen is 16. So 10 oxygen is 160. 20 means 320. Okay? And 1 water is 18. So 18 into 6. 18 into 6. Okay? So 48. 108. Okay? 108 is coming from 6 water molecules. Is that clear? So then you have to add this one. So once you added here 16, 1, 10, 14, 18, 20, 2, 4, 8. 806. So its relative formula mass is 806. So therefore molar mass is 806 grams per mole. So what they are asking is, what is the percentage of water in this mineral? So out of the 806 gram, only 108 is water. See, 108 is water. So the percentage of water in mineral, you can find the mass of water division total mass, then into 100%. That's how you find percentage, right? Isn't it? So if you want to find the percentage of your today's paper, so there were 8 questions. Let's say you got 6 correct. What you should do? Put it into 100%. That's all. Understand? Put it into 100%. So in that way, you can find the percentage. Okay, so like that, the mass of water division total mass of solution, total mass here, and then put into 100%. Just like you are finding the mark percentage, okay, your score in exam. Okay, so how many questions you get correct and how many total questions were there? Is that logic clear to you all, Amai? Is there any problem with this formula? Please ask. So 108 division 806 into 100. Okay, so then we can do rounding it off like we did earlier. So 11 division 810. Okay, 800 if you want rounding off. Okay, and into 100%. Sorry, not 11, 110. Okay, so if you multiply this one by like this, you will take something greater than 1. Will have something answer between 1 and 2, and there is another 10 lying here, so that means if you put everything together here, you will have an answer between 10 and 20. 10 and 20. So then you have to do more math to find out the answer, whether it is 2 or 3. You don't know exactly here. That's why most of you have selected answer 2 as well. Sorry, 3 as well. Understood? For that you need little simplification. Okay, so you need a division here. Okay, I think you might have divided like this: 1,100 division 81. Okay, no harm. So 1, so it's 81. So if you subtract this one, it's 9, and from 10 it's 2. Then 290, how much you have to think? Okay, so 81 into more than 3 is there, no? So 3 times 3, 1 is 3, 3 times it is 240. Yeah, so like that you can select the answer. Okay, you can see it is obviously not 12. It is something 13 something. Okay, so therefore you can go to the answer 2. I think all of you had gone in that way, no? That's actually good. But But I'm going to show you here, if let's say if one kid need the answer exactly, so there is a way of doing that one for the, let's say not for the MCQ. MCQ, this method is very good. You all have selected that method. I'm really proud of that. But if you need the exact answer, you have to use what? Logarithm, no? Because dividing from 100 and 806 is not that easy. Okay. So therefore you need the logarithm knowledge. So this is how you are going to write it for logarithm. So 10,800 division 806. Okay. So here's the answer. Log of 10,800 minus log of 806. Okay. So then you have to find the logarithms of this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 4 point. You have to find the log value of 108. Okay. So you are given a periodic table in the first class. Hope you all have this one with you. Okay. Backside of the period table, you have a logbook. Okay. So if possible, use this one time to time. So in order to keep up with the log. Okay. Just try time to time the logarithm thing. Okay. So I checked it from the logbook. So I have the answers with me. Just to just write it there in your review. It will be good for understanding. Yeah. Okay. Don't take it as a burden. Log that's why I'm teaching this one. Log is needed. So 2.9063. So after simplifying this also, you will get a proper answer. Okay. So here's the answer. You will get 1.1271. So if you get it anti-log of this answer, you will get exactly 13.4. Okay. So if you need the exact answer for a structured essay, you can follow this method. You can essay paper eකට ඕන නම් මේ method එකෙන් යන්න. හරිද? For the MCQs, what you followed already is very good. Round it off and simplify. Now you can see it's something more is there than the O levels. O level වල ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙන ගත්තට වඩා චුට්ටක් හිතන්න ඕන. And this is how they make complex the questions using simplifications. You have to be competent and you have to be good with simplification. If you are not okay, maths okay, we are here to teach you. So if you are not comfortable with this log thing, if you have doubts, please ask them in the class. In the interval or anything. If you are, most of you are having doubt, I can teach you within the class time also, no problem. So please ask only. You have many resources. Everybody is there to help you towards your good results, right? So you just have to ask for that one. Understand? You just have to ask for that one. Okay, so one of you have requested to repeat the whole thing, but I'll do it briefly. Okay, right? Because you can again watch the recording once I'm uploaded this one. So don't worry, I'll just go through one more time just to make you more comfortable with the question, right? So first of all, it's a very large molecule, so you need to get the relative formula mass. Just like you have this number of atoms, here we got the relative formula mass 806. Okay, then from 806, that's the total mass of the molecule. You have water 108, that's the water mass. So it's asking the percentage of water. So here you have the water mass and here you have the total mass. Then you have this fraction. This is the mass percentage of water. Is that okay with you, Kuta? Misra? Is that clear? So here's the mass percentage of water. Okay. So that's it. Don't worry about the simplification. Understand? Here's the chemistry part. Here's the chemistry. Is that okay? If it is okay with you, then it's fine. This stuff I told you about simplification, logarithm, might looks complex to some of you, but that is whole. Everything is mathematical part. These things will be getting better once you practice. Okay, so just leave it there. Stop with this fraction. This is where the chemistry part ends. Okay, other part is mathematics. just try to understand the mathematics part. Here we are doing some rounding it off and then round it off to the simple numbers and then did the division. This is mathematical part. Just look at that and practice. Okay, see, 11,000. I just rounded it off to 110, and this one to 810. Look at this number and round it off. Then simplify this. Cut the zeros and simplify. That is for the MCQ, and this one for the exact simplification using logarithm. Write both, okay? Okay, Nisra, just don't worry about the simplification, right? This is where the chemistry ends. So if you understand up to this, that is enough. Okay, don't worry. So let's go to the last one, the most important one, as I highlighted earlier. Question number 8. Question number 8. So like I showed you earlier, majority got the wrong answer for this one. Majority got the wrong answer. Okay. So the people who answered at the end might have changed my statics somehow. Okay, now from the 29 answers I am having, 3 got the correct, 9 kids got the correct answer, and still it's a low count when we compare with the total answered people. So that means everybody has to correct something. So let's look at the last question. This is not difficult. The thing is, Lamai, you are not focusing on a very crucial information. Okay, look at the question again. Look at the question again. So highlight this one if you are having the paper with you. Please highlight this one if you are having the paper with you. It is asking how many moles of hydrogen atoms. Okay, highlight that one. How many moles of hydrogen atoms? And highlight solution of ethanol in water. Solution of ethanol in water, and write here the formula of water. Okay, solution of water, and write the formula of water. Then you will understand what I am telling. Okay, here you have C2H5OH ethanol, and here you have water as well. So it's both. Understand, Lama? It's both. So in ethanol also you have hydrogen, and in water also you have hydrogen. Don't forget. Okay, so most of you have selected answer 1 because why? You all have found the correct answer, correct hydrogen moles for the ethanol only. You haven't considered water. That's why I like this question. Okay, so get the idea. The same thing can happen for you even in A-level exam. ඔකවාට A-level විභාග වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරිද පුතේ? තේරුණාද? Just learn that point today. ඔක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. හරි? හොඳට serious අරන් මේක ගන්න. You all can do this one. Okay, just remember the mistake you did. If you get it, some of you have get this correctly only. I'm really appreciating them. I'm telling this one for those who made the mistake. So remember, there are hydrogen in both the chemical compounds. Okay, it's not only ethanol, it's ethanol plus water. So don't forget about water. Think. Okay, so remember this one and memorize this question. Okay, so we are not doing silly questions. Okay, answer my questions. Okay, I have seen this paper. Sometimes I'm asking, man, why you are giving these difficult questions for them? But he's telling, yeah, but when we do difficult questions only, you get the idea of the subject and you improve. These questions may not come for the exam, but still you are improving your brain. Okay, we are giving you exams matching the exam standard, but sometimes you are doing difficult questions in the classes just to improve you. Okay, but these questions I selected straight coming from A-level paper. Okay, I have a question collection improved more than this. I'll be giving them later classes. Yeah, so I'll explain one more time. Wait, I didn't start the discussion yet. So let's put the information to the diagram. Okay, so the total solution mass is 0.1 kilogram, as it says. Okay, and it is telling you have ethanol 10% by mass. 10% by mass. That means if you are having 100 grams of the whole solution, 10 is ethanol. That's what they are telling. Understand? So you have to do a small unit conversion, like Jan explained in the class. So it should be like 100 grams. Understand? 100 grams because 0.1 kilogram is 100 grams. 1 kilogram is 1000 grams. I know these things are really easy for you by now. You learned them in O levels also. Right? So out of the 100 total gram, so total solution means ethanol plus water, no? Ethanol plus water. So this is 10%. This is 10%, and this is the remaining 90% is water. Okay, so then you can find therefore mass of ethanol is like what? From the 100 total grams, 10% is ethanol. So that means 10 grams. Understood? 10 grams. Okay, 10 grams is ethanol. So if you are having 10 grams of ethanol, then other 90 grams should be from water. Is that clear to everyone? Okay, so a student have asked a question, should we calculate for both? Now you can understand we have to calculate for both because both of them are containing hydrogen. Is that clear, Puta? Okay, sorry, that's clear. Okay, so let's do it. Lamai, let's do it. So what's the molar mass of C2H5OH? Molar mass of capital M, molar mass C2H5OH. You have 2 carbon, so 2 into 12 plus there are 6 hydrogen plus 6 and 1 oxygen, 16. So it is 24, 40 and 46 grams per mole. Okay, so if you want to find the moles of C2H5OH, 10 division 46 grams per mole, grams. And when you want to find the moles of water, molar mass of water is 2 plus 16, 18 grams per mole. So 90 gram division 18 grams per mole. Here you will be having how many moles? 5 moles of water. Okay, 5 moles of water. So I am a little bit lazy. මට කම්මැලි. මම මේක simplify කරන්නේ. Okay, අර අපි කලින් වගේ පොඩක් කම්මැලි වෙලා we will go to a answer. MCQ answer as MCQ. හරි? Okay, මෙන්න පොඩක් තියාගමු. Right. Right, so this is the number of moles of, let's say 10 division 46 moles of ethanol and 5 moles of water. So let's see how many hydrogen moles are coming from this one. So hydrogen moles, H moles, how many H moles are coming? So in each ethanol molecule, you have how many hydrogen, Lamai? So I have write this one ethanol molecule, how many hydrogen you are having? Has 6 H atoms. You have 6 H atoms. Can you see? Here 5 and here 1. Is that clear to you all? 6 hydrogen atoms. So hydrogen moles will be 10 division 46 into 6. Because this is the number of ethanol and here's the, you have to multiply it by 6. Is that clear? Very simple logic. Okay. And in this is from ethanol. Okay. And then from water. In one water you have 2 hydrogen, right? You have to multiply this one by 2. Okay, so then you will have 10. So your answer should be, let's say here it is 60. Your answer should be 60 division 46 plus 10. Your answer should be something greater than, okay, Lamai, so 6 division 46 means something 1 point something. So answer should be something greater than 10. Okay, some answer should be greater than 10. So there's only one answer greater than 10, isn't it? Answer should be greater than 10. So there is only one answer greater than 10, which is the second answer. Sorry, third answer. So then your answer is answer 3. See, that's the logic. You are not simplifying. I hope you get my point. Don't simplify lamai. Poda kammalit wenna. Then you get the answers easily. Because for one MCQ, how many time you got in the exam? Average time. You have to answer 50 MCQs within 2 hours. 2 hours means 120 seconds, 120 minutes, sorry. Right? So approximately 2 and 2.4. Oh yeah, 2.4 something. So you will have a very small time. Approximately 2 minutes, right? Let's say 2 minutes. By when podda vela tiyennata, right? 2 minutes kin. You only have 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, right? I'm not expecting you to do this one in 2 minutes now. You are just at the beginning. Get my point. When you are practicing enough, you should be able to do under this 2 minutes. Right? In order to do that, you need these small tricks. Right? Trust the MCQ. Trust the MCQ answers. Out of the answers they have given, look at the answers. 1.3, 10.0, then 11.3 our answer, then 5.2 and 5.7. So all those answers are, except for this one, all others are 10 or below 10. So then those will be the answers, no? What's the point of simplifying that? No point, right? So I hope you all understood the question. So the 8th question is the most beautiful question in the paper. And some of you needed the 5th question as well. 5th answers poor. There are 5 and 8, write a very good review and especially mark them and study them. And you can do this one even in a better way. Make a teach කරන්න ගිහිල්ලා වගේ යාළුවෙක්ට. හරිද? යාළුවට ටීච් කරන්න. ඔක්කොම ඕ ලෙවල් මේ කෙමිස්ට්‍රි නේ තියෙන්නේ. හරි? යාළුවට ටීච් කරන්න. එතකොට ඔයාලා මේක තව හොඳට මතක හිටියි. Okay, so teach this one to your friend in school or class or කොහේ හරි කමක් නැහැ. Or even someone in your home, at home, family එකේ ඉන්න කාට හරි කියලා දෙන්න. Right? Then you will remember this one really well. So teaching is the best method to remember. So you might wonder, how do I teach every day, everything without having even a paper? කොලයක් වන් නැතුව මම සමහර ගන්නන්නේ. හරිද? එහෙම කරන්නේ I remember things by teaching. එන මුකුත් කරලා නෙමෙයි. I have the same brain like you. හරිද? And I'm a little older than you also, right? But how do I do this one? Because with the repetition, with the practice. So you also can do the same thing. Right? You can't do classes like me, no. But the only thing you can do, you can time to time, you can find some special interesting questions and note them in an appropriate way, and you can teach them back to someone. Okay? So then you can arrange things. You can't teach if you don't know it properly. නැද්ද? ඔයාලට මේක තේරුනේ නැත්නම් හරියට ඔයාලට උගන්වන්න බෑනේ. අන්න ඒක කරන්න. Okay? Right. So that's it for today's discussion, Lamai. Hope you all got the idea. Okay, thank you for staying until the end of the class. So I'll be sending a Google Sheet. You all can put your suggestions and good things, bad things, everything, and I will be able to improve and present you in a much more effective way. Right. Okay. So write a nice review. Review එක ගෙනහලා පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ කට්ටිය. Okay, show it them that one into my during the class, right? So we'll be meeting you all after the new year. So I'm getting this as a chance to wish you all a happy new year and spend a quality time with the family. හරි ඔයගොල්ලෝ firecrackers එහෙම දාන්න ගිහින් විනාශ කරගන්න එපා. හරි ඔය විදිහටම හොඳට ලස්සන ඉන්න. මොකද අපිට ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඕනේ හොඳ රිසර්ච් ටිකක් දාන්න. හරි? Right, okay. Right. එහෙනම් everyone have a nice day. I'll upload in the recording soon. Good night. Okay.